stand for the pledge. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Director of Veterans Affairs, Dave Isley, veteran who cares about all veterans and does a credible job on behalf of all of our citizens that have served. And if it wasn't for people like Dave and all of our veterans across our country, we wouldn't be standing here today having this meeting. Dave, thank you for the service. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Commissioner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just wonder if everyone could please just stand for a moment of silence. We've had some incredible, outrageous, horrible shootings across our country and even stabbings. And this is just something that just shouldn't be going on, shouldn't be happening. And just a moment of silence for those that lost their lives and their family members that are mourning an incredible loss, you know, from like picnics and just on the street and large gatherings, like just for these things to happen. It just shouldn't be happening. So please keep all of those that lost their lives and their families and their friends in our thoughts and prayers as we go about our day. Thank you. I'd like to bring this Lackawanna County Board of Commissioners meeting to order Monday, August 12, 2019, 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room at 123 Wyoming Avenue at the Lackawanna County Government Center at the Globe. Can I have a motion for the approval? Can I have a second on the motion for the approval of minutes?
Make a motion.
Roll call.
Or second.
Commissioner Terriani? Yes. Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Proclamation presentation. Proclamation presentation. Carbondale Library celebrating 145th anniversary. Mary Garm is here. Mary, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Commissioners, I know that Library Director Marisa Cohn and Board Member Robert Powell from the Carbondale Public Library are on their way here. They obviously haven't made it yet. Would you like to?
Would you like to? We'll do Cedar Bike Shop first. Do we have the?
That would be perfect.
You want to do Cedar Bike Shop here today? Beautiful.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Commissioner Cummings, 19-0194.
You have Cedar Bike Shop and your name?
How you doing? Kyle Brazen.
Oh, there it is. Okay, thanks, Kyle. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, Cedar Bike Shop has been around since 1973. It's always been in South Scranton. A few years ago, one of the partners in the ownership kind of strayed away from the name and renamed it Stride Multisport. We opened up a second location down in Harvey's Lake. Since the fall, we have closed that location and decided it was a good time to bring the Cedar Bike Shop name back. I know I do recognize a lot of people that come into the store and go into bike safety events in the county and everything like that. So we've gotten a lot of positive feedback for us going back to our original name, Cedar Bike Shop.
Thanks for coming in. I remember saving up my paper route money and being able to go to Cedar Bike Shop.
Yep.
I think it was on Cedar Avenue at that time, was it originally?
Yeah, the first location was on Cedar Avenue.
Yeah, and my son, who's 17 now, I remember, I think it was about 7 years ago, I came in, and when I was a kid, there were certain bikes out there that really were really good racing 20-inch bikes. Mm-hmm. Would be like Rally or Redline, Haro, stuff like that. And I came in, we bought a Redline off you guys, and he still has it. My 11-year-old uses it now. But you guys have great products. You have Cannondale years ago, many pounds ago. I used to actually race 10 speeds and do triathlons, and I have a Trek 760. You know what I mean? You can lift up your pinky finger. I can't even imagine what they're like today, and it's 20-some years ago.
Yeah, it's a lot of improvements, a lot of advancement.
And your mountain bikes are so neat today. Like years ago, the mountain bikes, their tires were thin. Now they're like motorcycle tires.
Yep, wider's better.
Yeah, yeah.
What is the story behind Cedar Bike? I know you're here representing Dennis Knowlton, but do you know how that all started?
So basically, back in 1973, the original owner, David Johns, he opened up the shop. Then in 1990, I believe he opened up his second location in Dixon City. In 2012, he closed his location in Dixon City and basically consolidated everything to the South Scranton shop. And then in 2013 is when the new owner, Dennis Knowlton, and his partners took over. So yeah, I was originally with the original owner, Dave Johns. I've been there since 2009. So
Oh, wow, great. And are you a sales rep or what do you do?
everything, sales manager, maintenance,
Fixing bikes.
fixing bikes,
Absolutely.
Facebook stuff, whatever needs to be done. It's
Well-
it's a really small business, so I mean, we all wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, well, regardless of how I've been represented in the paper, which is a complete falsehood, and regarding the fact that I don't like bikes for some reason, but, that's not a fact. I just don't ride them right now.
It's fine.
Well,
But
I'm
as
sure
a-
that he has one that might fit you.
No, I'm good.
I mean, our main goal.
They do,
I'm
don't they,
good.
don't they fit you for a bike today? Years ago,
we
they
do. We
they
fit everybody
you.
for
They
a bike.
come
We
in
actually
and
have a
fit you.
machine we can fit
No,
you for
I
a
have.
bike with.
I still have the bikes in my garage. Nobody took them. So I mean, give me
This
a
one would be
break.
like you can pick up with your pinky finger.
Our,
Nice.
our what we want is, more people on bikes, but more people being safe on bikes, following the proper laws, because there are laws there, and more people need to be aware of what the real laws are. People who don't follow the laws, they give cyclists like myself a bad name. I think this can be a bike-friendly community. There are great steps that are going into place, especially with the Lackawanna Heritage Valley Association with their bike share program.
I don't think it's a bike unfriendly community. I just
No,
think that
I think
bikes,
people need to be more aware though of the rules and the laws and being courteous and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no. The only thing that surprised me was when we give the helmets out to the kids. I didn't realize that was the law that even 2-year-olds have to have
Yep.
a helmet on for like the little tricycles.
Yep.
I did not know that. That's something I learned here.
That's because we grew up bouncing our heads off the macadam.
Well, I mean, I don't know, I guess. I mean, I've fallen off of my bike, I don't know how many times, but
Yeah.
I never hit my head. But I remember when 10 speeds first came out, if you didn't have a 10 speed, it took me a while to save up, but I finally got a 10 speed, which, by the way, I still have. But,
We can fix
yeah,
anything
I
for you.
mean, I get it. I just, right now, I think that, I don't know what the business is like for bikes right now. I'm assuming that it's better now that they have this big
It is, and
push on.
what's been making it even better are all the bike paths that are going in the state, and also a lot of the state parks and some of the county parks with the bike trails and everything like that. I was out of town yesterday, out in Port Jervis, New York, and huge trail system, and they just keep building. They have over 30 miles of trails out there now. People coming from all over to come ride them too, and they're phenomenal. So I mean, for us, this past 2 years, our mountain bike sales have just gone through the roof.
Nice.
I understand mountain bike, the things they have with that, but on the main roads, like in Central City, Scranton taking over, which we won't get into. I think that I'm glad you guys are doing well.
Thank you.
So thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Commissioner Terriani.
It's a great job. I'm sure the trail helped tremendously. in
Definitely.
involvement in it. I understand we're gonna have a large bike race in
Yeah.
Scranton. So
Yep.
Tomorrow is sponsoring it sometime this year.
Yeah, that's coming up.
It's coming in September, isn't it? Or is it?
August 24th.
Oh, it's the
Yep.
week before La Festa.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a criterium, right? It's
A criterium race, and
Yeah.
then the following day is an uphill road race.
the criterium. How many we get out for that? Honestly, when you've seen that, that's really neat, and you get to see. A lot of times in a bike race, they might go out like 30 miles and they come back in. That's how a race will be. You won't see them unless you're out there driving your car and being at certain points. This, you're going to see them go around in a circle. How many times are they going to go around about?
I'm not sure exactly, but basically it's a block radius that they're competing around, and I mean these guys they're intense. I'm a mountain biker,
Yeah.
but these guys, I mean when they go around turns, they're actually leaning on each other.
Like literally, like almost touching the
They're
ground.
not going to be on our roads doing that.
Yeah, downtown Scranton.
Yep.
Yeah.
With all the holes?
Yeah, they fixed them for that. It's all
Are you
set up
kidding
for that.
me?
Yeah.
They'll kill
This
themselves.
is probably like the third or fourth annual, isn't it? Like third annual? Third time I think this has been going on. But
This is the first time that I'm aware of.
I thought they were
They
talking.
tried.
they were
I know
talking
they
about-
tried, but
Okay, I knew they were.
Oh,
there
they're
was
going to be
something
they're going to
passed.
be so mad at us.
But this is great. I've been to these races a bunch of times. A lot of times they're actually done in like an actual venue with a curved.
Yes,
But
the
this is
building.
really neat because you get to see them go by every so many probably every minute or so, minute and a half, and they're clocked together. And then a lot of times some people get lapped in it. And then at the end, it's usually a real crazy finish where there's like 7 or 8 of them fighting for the finish line. It's really, really cool, really, really intense.
What
And it's
roads?
just like anything
that?
else. They're
What
gonna.
roads?
I'm not sure what roads are. It's downtown
Where are they
Scranton.
going to be? Downtown Scranton.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to bring a lot of people into
Yeah.
into the area. So
Are they gonna
it's gonna be
pave
exciting.
before they get here?
Everything. Hotels, everything will be loaded
Are they
up.
going to pave the roads before they get here? Or are they paved?
No, they'll patch up the spots and stuff like that, like they do in other events. And the
I'm
kids,
not even kidding.
And the
I'm
bikers,
serious.
The bikers
Like,
will
I've-
go out and they'll check out what they'll do. They'll ride the course beforehand and they'll know where
I
they're
mean,
at.
if he's talking about them leaning on each other, that's pretty
Yeah.
serious stuff. I mean,
It's a circuit,
It's a circle. Those are.
Yep.
Just
It's an
I
Olympic
get what
event.
they do, Jerry. I understand. I'm just saying, like, are they going to
not
pave
just-
the roads? Because I'll tell you,
It's just downtown Scranton.
who's going to pay the
I
insurance
mean, it's an
bill
Olympic
when
event.
they
I mean, they go
get
all
hurt?
around the world. So
Yeah.
it's just, in my opinion, it's about time we did something like that around here.
Yeah.
So.
They had one up the Viewmont
I'm
Mall
just
about
looking out for their
25 years
safety.
ago.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. There's always
it's
risk.
not even funny. It's
There's
not
always
even a
risk
joke.
involved. I mean, every time we go out and do a race, there's risk.
Absolutely.
Guy
And these
yesterday in the
guys-
race broke his collarbone, and another guy broke his wrist. It happens.
These guys that are Pro Cam 2 racers and stuff, there's professionals here. There's money to
And
be
that's
made
on a
in
smooth
trophies.
road. Can you imagine what
No,
they,
this is on a mountain bike. I mean, we were mountain
Nice.
biking
Yeah.
yesterday, but
they race like that on a mountain?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like they do those, they lean into each other on a mountain?
it's sometimes.
They're right next to each other, going over jumps and everything
I don't
else.
think we're
No, it's-
talking about the same
Mount-
race,
Mountain
but-
bike racing is even more intense, but you don't. You
No,
won't
I'm
see them
talking
till the
about
end.
them leaning into each other. I know what he's talking about. I've
Yeah.
watched them on that. They don't do that on the mountains.
Really, really cool. But before this, I'd like to bring up our person who makes sure that our children are safe in all aspects, and that is Christina Sullivan. Christina, we'd like to come up and talk a little bit about the helmets and everything else that goes with the. And I know that Cedar Bike Shop actually is what works with us to basically have our safety day and everything else, because this really matters. Stick around. This is you're part of this.
Definitely stay. Well, I'm Christina Sullivan, and thank you, Commissioners, for asking me to be here
From
this
seat
morning.
belts to helmets to everything else.
To
Thank-
everything. But I just want
Text
to
to
say,
the driving, you name it.
out of the top 10 focused safety areas that I go out and work on, some of my favorite are bicycle safety, especially with the little ones, and helmet safety, so important. And our bicycle safety fair would not be as successful without the support of Cedar Bike. So I thank you, Kyle, on behalf of everyone in Lackawanna County. Thank you, Commissioners.
Christine, thanks for coming up, because it matters. And you know what matters, Christine? Making sure, when you're out there and you're making sure that they're belting the kids right in their cars. Making sure the seatbelt is woven through their seats and stuff so that they're safe in their cars. Because most of them, am I right? Most people don't, they think they put it correctly, but they don't sometimes.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 are installed incorrectly. Although I am technician and have certification, we generally, unless we're having an event out at the park, and we do have one coming up this Friday at Naog Park. We are having a seat check, child passenger safety seat check, and that's in conjunction with the Traffic Injury Prevention Project, along with the Scranton Police Department. And generally, the state police will come out also, because I always say they're the pros. When they're doing a seat check, I want to be there, because they do them so much more, than we do. But it's very, very important, and a part of our program to have that certification. So,
Thank you, Christina. Thank you. Commissioner Cummings, we have a certificate for you. But thank
Yeah.
you for what you do in the community, because it really does matter with your business and everything else, because making sure that the citizens are healthy and getting a great product out, and you have some really great bikes. Commissioner Cummings?
Yeah, I was going through the payables. I have a bunch of tabs. Cedar Bike, I mean, we actually utilize you, I'm assuming, for some of the calibrations on the bikes over at, where they have that Lackawanna Heritage Trail they have?
Yeah, we
one?
do all the maintenance on them.
Yeah, so you do some work on the bikes over there that, they rent those now, or?
Yeah, it's a bike share program, so all you need is a government-issued ID, and you can take the bike for the day and use it however you please. Just got to return it to wherever you got it from. So it's a free program for anyone to utilize.
What's that, what do they need, a government what? A government
Well, you got to have ID, just show proof of. So when
just
they
like
take
that.
it, we.
driver's license is sufficient?
Yeah, we
They
take a
keep your
copy. They take a copy
license or
of. They take a
something.
copy of the license, and that's all. There's a waiver they sign, and that's it.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I thought it was a good program they had
Oh, it's a
over
great
there.
program.
I
Yeah,
went over and they
phenomenal.
showed it to me, and, so there's a couple different things that I I think are good ideas for the kids. I do. But thank you for the work, and congratulations on being in business. Please send my congratulations to the owners, and for you for the longevity you've had at Cedar Bike Shop.
Great, thank you.
Today we give a certificate of recognition. The County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners hereby recognize Cedar Bike in honor of achieving the designation of a small business spotlighted in Lackawanna County, given this 12th day of August 2019 by Commissioner Patrick O'Malley, Commissioner Jerry Natariani, and myself, Commissioner Cummings. Come on up.
Christina, come on up too, because this is,
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Appreciate it. Hi, Christina. How are you?
stay next to me.
How about everybody take one step this way, so.
You did a great job.
We're in the middle, okay, perfect. All right, here we go, everybody look here and smile. Take a couple of them. Take a couple more, then we'll flash. Very good, thank you.
All right, great, thank you very much. Thank you. You too, thank you.
Before you sit down, make sure you announce the time on the NEAC thing, because it'd be good for the families to get out there with their cars. Get them checked. Christina, go up to the podium and just announce that time one more time for NEAC Park for the, okay. That's all right.
Is the library here now? Yeah, library's.
Library's here. Everybody here?
Yeah, I
Good,
think
good.
so, yeah.
Okay. We have a great anniversary for the Carbondale Public Library. 145th anniversary. That is amazing.
It is amazing. And Commissioners, I'd like to introduce Marie Zaccone, who is the Library Director at the Carbondale Public Library, and Dr. Robert Powell, who is a longtime member of the board and the Carbondale Historian of Record.
Thank you, Commissioners, for having us today. It is quite an honor to be an active library for 145 years. We enjoy being very popular. We just renovated our second floor and made it even more accessible to people, to children. The whole floor was redone, and our history is. This is the fourth building that we've been into, and the building we're in now was built in 1996, and we have kept it up and enjoyed programs. Today, there's 2 or 3 different programs going on, and we're very proud of representing the county in our library.
Beautiful.
Dr. Powell can give us a
Dr.
little-
Powell's has many hats, Historical Society up there, a little bit of everything.
Thank you very much. In Carbondale, we are very proud of the Carbondale Public Library. It's the oldest library in the county, and we are very proud of the fact that in 145 years ago, some very enlightened people got together and formed an organization which they called the Young Men's Library Association. This was not a sexist organization. That's the way the organizations were titled as such in the 19th century. It was a library for everyone. And so we have the first library in the county, and we're very proud of that fact. And as Marie said, we recently, thanks to the generosity of a couple of board members, have done amazing renovations in the library on the second floor of the building. Carbondale has a long and distinguished record of being at the cutting edge of things. We are the oldest city in Lackawanna County, too. That's why we're called the Pioneer City, pioneer meaning first. And so the Lackawanna Valley, in many respects, began in the north and then moved south, and we're very proud to be part of all that. And it's been going on since the 1820s, and it's a great feather in the hat of Carbondale, and we're very pleased to have our library services available to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're pleased to have you here. Libraries are, I'm not saying they're much more than what they were, but the libraries, it's a different world today. It's not just books. You mean you help people how to resume, build, you know what I mean, there's CDs, there's movies, there's a little bit of everything. It's more of a, I would say like a community center plus education and everything else wrapped all up into one. And it really contributes so much to the community. So congratulations on like being the oldest, like even older than New York. I thought that was pretty amazing when I was reading the history. So congratulations and keep going. Like I said, you know, I mean, you're a pillar of the community of Carbondale and Lackawanna County. So, but thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Commissioner Cummings.
Congratulations. You just added a children's library, or you had one and just expanded?
We had one and we renovated and extended it. It's called the Julie Metalavich Martin Memorial Children's Library in honor of Julie Metalavich Martin. Reverend Stephen Metalavich, her dad, was on our board, and now he's on the Lackawanna County board. And she was fatally injured in an automobile accident, and they have donated the library in her honor. She loved children, and we have just perpetuated her memory, and everything is done with her in mind.
Awesome. Are you going to be staying for a little bit, or are you going to be leaving right after your presentation?
I'm going to stay. I don't know that they were planning
Okay.
to stay.
All right. Yeah, if you could stay, I would appreciate it. I have a couple questions, but I'll save it for my commissioners of business.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
Commissioner Terriani.
Just thank you for your continued dedicated work, and really appreciate it. You moved around a little bit, but you were in the City Hall for quite a few years, and hopefully this will be the last move for the library, and you'll be there for good.
Hopefully. We keep renovating and keep modernizing and keeping up with the times.
Good luck with it.
Well, congratulations. We have a proclamation for you today, and to 145 more years to the Carbondale Library System.
I won't be there, I hope.
You'll be there in spirit.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Whereas on May 8th, 1874, the Young Men's Library Association of Carbondale was dedicated and opened its doors at the Delaware and Hudson Office Building on North Main Street. Known today as the Carbondale Public Library. We joined them in celebrating 145th anniversary. Congratulations, what a great day. Whereas in the winter of 1872-1873, E. Francis, the principal of the schools in Carbondale, offered to donate a small sum of money towards starting a public library or reading room. Now think about that. The teacher really stepped up to the plate and really cared about making sure the students had something to bring home with them and read and to be able to further their education. From there, the Young Men's Library Association in Carbondale was founded in 1873. It is the oldest library in Lackawanna County Library System and has local newspaper and documents on microfilm dating back as far as 1828. It proudly boasts it's older than the New York City Public Library. Whereas in 1896, the Carbondale Public Library became a true public library and was moved to the main floor of City Hall. Then, in 1964, looking to be recognized as part of the statewide library system, Frank B. Kelly, former Carbondale mayor and chairman of the Young Men's Library Association, convinced Hillman Land Company of Pittsburgh to donate a 3-story former Bell Telephone Company building at 24 6th Avenue. What a great man he was. That was great that he actually went out and pushed us forward. The building was then converted into the new home for the library, remaining there till 1997 when the modern Carbondale Public Library was erected at its current location. Now, therefore, we, Patrick M. O'Malley, Jerry Terriani, Lorraine A. Cummings, Commissioners of the County of Lackawanna, Pennsylvania, hereby acknowledge and proclaim on behalf of the 214,000 citizens, August 12, 2019, as Carbondale Public Library Day in Lackawanna County. Congratulations.
Thank
Come
you.
forward.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good to
Congratulations for all the hats.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Congratulations,
There
Joan.
she is. We'll get some, let's even it out a little bit.
I got you.
No, Doctor, you should stand next to him. You're part of Carbondale.
Okay.
You come to me.
Mary, can we put you on the other side of
Yep.
Commissioner Terriani? So that way we're a little more balanced.
All right?
Okay, everybody look here. Smile. We'll take a couple of them. With the flash. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. Thank you. Thanks for everything.
How is your legacy presentation?
Thank you so much.
Hey, listen, I like the New York thing best. Beat out New York. Very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, just so everybody knows that becoming a member of the library is free, right, Mary Garm? And go up to the podium for just a moment. And you can get your library card, and the options are unlimited for the things that you can use that recess for inside the library.
Absolutely. And you can get a library card either by stopping in at any of our libraries and filling out a form, or you can fill out the form online on our website, which is www.lclshome.org. And you'll get it in the mail, and you can right away begin using our services in person or virtually online. We have lots of databases, downloadable ebooks, and downloadable audiobooks that you can use directly from your own home, your business, your school, wherever.
Congratulations, Mary, on 145 years.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Okie dokie. Okay. Ordinance second reading, 19-0185.
Thank you, Commissioner. An ordinance of the County of Lackawanna, Pennsylvania, providing for the acquisition of certain property and temporary construction easements for the enhancement of public safety through the maintenance and improvement of Main Street in Dixon City Borough, all located within Dixon City Borough, Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania. The Board of Commissioners of the County of Lackawanna do hereby ordain as follows. 1.1, Section 1.3-302 of the Lackawanna County Home Rule Charter. The charter authorizes the county commissioners to acquire property by eminent domain, 335 PA Code 1.3-302. 1.3, Lackawanna County is engaged in the widening and resurfacing of pavement, reconstruction of sidewalks, upgrading of ramps in compliance within the Americans of Disabilities Act, and the installation of new traffic signal equipment at the intersection of Main Street with Boulevard Avenue, Eagle Lane, and Dundas Street in Dixon City Borough, along with other miscellaneous construction along the roadway in order to maintain the existing roadway and provide a safe environment for vehicles and pedestrians. 1.4, public use and necessity require that the property and the property rights herewithin identified be condemned, appropriated, and taken for public use by the County of Lackawanna for such purposes as it may now or hereafter declare in the public interest. 2.1, public convenience, use, and necessity demand that portions of the real property described in Appendix A, hereto in Dixon City Borough, Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania, B, and the same are hereby condemned for the enhancement of public safety and improvement of Main Street in Dixon City Borough. 3.1, all lands, easements, rights, privileges, and other property lying within the limits of the lots, blocks, and tracts of land described in Appendix A or portions are hereby condemned, appropriated, taken, and appropriated only after just compensation has been made or paid into court for the owners thereof of the manner provided by the law. 5.1, the county solicitor and any special assistant county attorneys be, and they are hereby authorized and directed to begin and prosecute the actions and proceedings in the manner provided by law to condemn, take, damage, and appropriate the lands and other property rights necessary to carry out the provisions of this ordinance. 6.1, the ordinance shall take effect 10 days following enactment.
Okay. Does the board have any questions? Okay, I'd like to make a motion. Dickinson City, eminent domain. Do I have a second? Roll call.
No.
Yes. Resolutions 19-1292.
This is the payables, yeah. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the following payables. Lackawanna County General Fund numbers 286609 through 287799, inclusive, totaling $4,502,275.50. Electronic fund transfers, including all payroll accounts, totaling $7,481,000. $1,169.55.
Controller DeBilio, are we, everything good?
Yes, Commissioners, everything's in order and has been audited by my office. There's one check regarding the probe by the Attorney General's office involving the prison for just $750 on this payable list. And there's also 3 United Neighborhood Center checks, but they're all involving youth and family services and not economic development, which I know Commissioner Cummings has been asking about recently.
Okay.
So they're not out of the Economic Development Department.
Okay.
I have
Does
them
the board have
tabbed.
any other questions for Controller?
I do, I have a couple, because I have them tabbed.
Good.
Yeah, I saw the NeighborWorks, right? Is that what you're talking about, Northeast PA?
I was referring to 3 United Neighborhood Center checks, not NeighborWorks, Commissioner.
Yeah, I saw those. I didn't realize that, I went through the payables for that, and we pay for the hotel rooms for some people that are emergency housing through Children and Youth and Area Agency on Aging and a couple different programs like that. So that was the reason for some of those bills, just so the public knows that we do provide that service for someone who needs emergency housing. And then we reimburse them. And they don't make any money on that whatsoever, just so everybody's aware. I'm not sure why we do it that way, but that's the way they handle that situation. But then I have NeighborWorks Northeast PA has a $20,000 expenditure contracted services. I was wondering if that was something similar, or?
I could look into that specific invoice
Okay.
and get back to you,
That's
Commissioner.
fine. I have a bunch tabbed, I just, I didn't know we gave to Marley's, just a couple Marley's missions we give to. I didn't know that. I don't know what they do, but I'll look into that one.
That was the NeighborWorks that you,
Yeah.
okay.
And Coca,
Marley's mission would probably be that would be through Children Youth Services. That would probably be for some kind of
for the kids?
the healing. Yeah, because that's Marley's missions for the horses. And the
Yes, it
children.
very well could be. I'm not exactly sure.
And then Catholic Social Services, I had tabbed for $4,785, which I think we do some stuff through CTC maybe, educational programs, but I just want to make sure on that.
I'd be happy to look into those for you, those two.
Thanks.
NeighborWorks and Catholic Social Services. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Terry, any questions? Okay, I'd like to make a motion approving current pay. I'd like to make a motion approving current payables. Do I have a second? Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner Cummings?
I'm going to abstain because I'm not sure on some of these checks, that's all.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Okay, I just want to call up Christine Sullivan really quick, just for a moment, because I would like for her just to clarify the date and the time for the seatbelts for the infants and the little boys and girls. Make sure they're safe in their cars when they're traveling.
Commissioners, the car seat check is at McDade Park this Friday from 9:30 to 12:30.
Free, people can come through, get everything
Yes,
checked out.
Yes,
and
questions.
They'll set
check
your
the
seat the right way for you and
No,
everything else.
Yes, new, already installed. My certification is national, and I would have to check into that for you, Commissioner.
Well, I mean, all services are provided by the government, so it's either state, federal, or local, so it's taxpayer funded somewhere.
Thanks, thanks for coming,
Thank you.
Christine, and thank you for the information. And for those in the viewing audience, please make it out to McDade Park. Make sure your children are safe. Okay, 19-0186.
Thank you, Commissioner. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby award an arts and culture mini grants to the following community organizations. Archibald Borough, $500 for bands for their Harvest Festival in September. Clark's Greenboro, $500 for the holiday tree lighting in November at the park. And Waverly Township, $500 for entertainment costs for their Community Square Fair at the Waverly Community House. And here to speak on this resolution is our Deputy Director of Arts and Culture, Maureen McGuigan.
Morning, Maureen.
Well, this is just the usual program that I think is really great. It spreads some of our funds around the county. So, we have two holiday ones coming up and one that was actually held in July, but we just couldn't get a meeting. So we hope people go out and enjoy some of these events.
Great. Does the board have any questions?
No, I just appreciate you coming in and talking about the grants that you're giving out. These are provided through the Arts and Culture Fund, which is listed on your tax bill as education, and that's how this is paid for. And Maureen does a good job with actually bringing people in and, voting on all this stuff to make sure that what she's providing these funds for, and then she brings them to the commissioners to vote on.
Thank you.
And gives us an entire list of them. And one that I wasn't approving of slipped through on me, so Fran brought that to my attention last week, but anyway, that was my
I
fault.
really appreciate that, Commissioner. It means
Yeah,
a
it was
lot
my
to me.
fault
Thank
for
you.
not. Yeah, no, good job. I mean, I appreciate you bringing that to the attention, and you can look up all these as a list online. They're always there for the public to see where their tax dollars are being spent, so I appreciate the work you're doing on that. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion awarding arts and culture mini grants. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maureen. Okay, 19-0187.
Thank you, Commissioner. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the Department of Human Services Office of Youth and Family Services provider and professional contracts for fiscal year July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2020 as attached. And here to speak on this resolution is the Director of Human Services, Bill Browning.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is the routine year-end, our year beginning in our fiscal year, beginning July 1st, actually. Contracts, professional service contracts, provider contracts, arts engaged contracts, and then our bed hold contracts.
Okay. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Browning?
No, I thank you for the time you spent in my office with me, Bill, in regards to this. And yet another list has been provided to us by your office and should be included, but if not, we can include this, and exactly tells where every expenditure is going. I do see that we have some money going to Creative and Performing Arts Academy of NEPA. Does a great job in the community, and they're willing to spend their own funding to make sure that kids have a venue. And I was wondering if you can kind of expand on that program a little bit.
Sure. The whole idea of Arts Engage was to have a high-quality opportunities for disadvantaged kids through our community, so they can experience some of the things that some of our kids and some of the even like middle-class kids have. What we also wanted to do is make sure that it engaged the family as well, and so they've actually been the model for this program as far as engaging the entire family in the process. Kids want to go back, families want to participate. The parents aren't just going to the shows; they're actually participating. So this is actually the perfect program and what we've been striving for, and we're trying to bring all the others along as well.
Thank you for your work on that, and thank you to CAPA for their work. One of the first privately owned theaters, I'm assuming, and in this time of realm. I'm not sure exactly because I'm not that. Maureen would know how to explain them better than I would, but they do a good job, and I'm glad to see that they're trying to help us out as well. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Okay. I'd like to make a motion approving the Office of Youth and Family Services provider and professional contracts. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 19-0188.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is entering into a First Amendment to Code Red Agreement. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby enter into a First Amendment to Code Red Next Services Agreement as part of the Northeast Pennsylvania Regional Counterterrorism Task Force Master Agreement to be effective as of August 31st, 2019. And here to speak on the resolution is Emergency Management Deputy Director Rich Barbolish.
Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is the first amended renewal of this contract with Code Red, which is paid for through the Northeast Terrorism Task Force, which we're a part of through a Homeland Security grant. There's no financial obligation to the county. It's just an agreement that we're going to participate in it. Unless we were to go over the allotted minutes for us, which is around 200,000 minutes, which is, in my calculations, close to half a year's worth of time. So it's very doubtful that we'd ever go over that.
Does the board have any questions for Rich? Okay, I'd like to make a motion entering into the First Amendment to the Code Red Agreement. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, Rich. Thanks for coming in.
If I might just remind everybody, it's a free program. You can sign up through our website or through their website online. There's also a free app for your phone. It will give you weather warnings and any other kind of warnings that we might send out.
You know what, Rich, since you're there, would you step back up to the microphone for just a second? September 14th, I'm going to bring it up at the end, 11 to 2 p.m. is Heroes Day. Talk about how great that is. Don't we have all kinds of emergency services there, like everybody so kids will feel at home talking to SWAT team, police, everything. It's just a great day, isn't it?
Heroes Day is a great day. You get a close-up look of what happens when there is an emergency, especially for the kids, so they're not afraid of these people that are dressed in different garb than the average person might be every day. And it's just a fun day for everybody.
It is. Police, fire,
Police,
EMTs,
fire, emergency
our
management.
SWAT team.
The SWAT team will be there, or the county decon team will be there, which is an all-volunteer group. Military will be there, so it's a good day for everybody.
It is. And so that's Saturday, September 11th, 11 to 2 p.m. And Joe Lorenzo's in the back. Joe's going to be serving. We're going to have free hot dogs and drinks for anybody that comes up. Right, Joe? All right. Rich, thanks for coming in. That's going to
Hang
be
on
up
a
at our 9/11 Center.
Well, I mean, I think that the other issue with that is our state police involved in that too, or?
Yeah, the state police.
State police, yes, I believe they're there.
Yeah.
They come up with their
someone from
helicopters?
Just about everyone.
It's tough to bring a helicopter in there that day. There's so
They
much
use so much
equipment, so many
room, it's-
people. It would probably be kind of dangerous to land a helicopter there on that day. The
Yeah, I know
parking
they
lot is
want-
pretty much full.
They wanted to have one down at the airport. I know I was talking to you about that last year. But, it's also a perfect venue for kids because you're looked at as the heroes, and this could bring them into the fold to get more people involved as they get older. So I appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much. It's really nice.
Hopefully that will hit home with them, and they will, as they get older, start to volunteer. There's a lack of that today.
Exactly, yeah.
In everything, not just emergency services, but in everything.
Well, Rich, how about the smiles on all the kids' faces at
Kids
it and
have a
stuff?
great
It's-
time. Face painting,
Yeah.
miniature golf, all kinds of activities for them.
We have the 4-H club there. We have Penn
4-H.
State Extension giving out seeds for anybody that wants seeds for flowers and vegetables. It's a little bit. It's for everyone, really. It's an everybody event.
It's a great day. Even the adults have a great time too.
It is. Rich, thanks for coming
Thanks
in
a
today.
lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, 19-0189.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is entering into an adult probation grant in aid agreement. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby enter into a grant in aid agreement for the improvement of adult probation services with the Pennsylvania Board of Probation and Parole for fiscal year 2019 to 2020. Here to speak on this resolution is the Chief Adult Probation Parole Officer, Bill McCarthy.
Good morning,
Frank.
Bill.
Commissioners, thank you very much for letting me come in today and talk to you about our grant and aid. It's a continuation that we do every year annually. There's no cost to the county. Last year's award was for $194,000. This year's award, I believe, will be over $200,000. The money is exclusively used for our adult probation parole officer salaries. The only thing we have to do is maintain standards that the state sends to us, and we have an audit done by the state every year. And I'm happy to say when the audit is done, the last 5 years, we've been in 100% compliance of that audit.
Great job. Very good. Does Commissioners have any questions for Mr. McCarthy? Okay, I'd like to make a motion entering into the adult probation grant and aid agreement. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks, Bill. 19-0190.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is a temporary easement conveying land to the Commonwealth for bridge improvements, authorizing the Chairman of the Board of Commissioners to sign and execute all documents for the agreement of a temporary easement conveying land to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for bridge improvements. Whereas Lackawanna County is interested in promoting economic development and revitalization within Lackawanna County, and whereas Lackawanna County supports local efforts focused on job development and infrastructure improvement, which promote employment and recreation opportunities opportunities for residents of the county. And whereas Lackawanna County has reviewed and approved a settlement statement for a temporary easement for construction purposes that convey property affected by the construction or improvement for transportation, and that in lieu of condemnation, Lackawanna County will grant the Commonwealth a temporary easement in the amount of $15,000. And whereas Lackawanna County, the owner, hereby grants to the Commonwealth a temporary easement for the purpose of undertaking construction or improvement, said easement to extend to the area shown on the plot area attached hereto and made a part hereof, and to authorize the entry and re-entry of employees, agents, and contractors of the Commonwealth upon said area to do any and all work necessary for the completion of the project, including the removal of any building and/or other structures located on the area covered by the easement, provided, however, that upon completion of the project, the Commonwealth shall be obligated to restore the area covered by the easement to a condition commensurate with that of the balance of the property owned by Lackawanna County, such restoration to include removal of debris, filling of holes left by the removal of buildings or structures, draining, filling, and/or capping of wells, cesspools, and septic tanks, grading and sowing of grass. The estimated completion date of the construction or the improvement is 6 years from the commencement of the construction. The temporary easement for construction area is approximately 4.6383 acres. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Lackawanna County does hereby authorize the chairman of the Board of Commissioners to sign and execute all appropriate documents associated with this conveyance. And here to speak on this resolution is the grant manager, Sandy Abshinsky.
Hi.
Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning. This is for, as it's noted, a temporary easement. It's part of the North Pocono Trail project. PennDOT needs an area in order to conduct their staging operations. So they're paying us $15,000 for that per law, and then will return it to us in a much improved condition.
Does the board have any questions for Ms. Abshinsky? Okay. I'd like to make a motion for a temporary easement to convey land to the Commonwealth for bridge improvements. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you.
19-0191.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is authorizing an amended RACP grant application, authorizing the filing of a redevelopment assistance capital program grant application with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania on behalf of Stone Run Realty and Holdings, LLC. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby amend Resolution 18-0011, unanimously passed on January 10th, 2018, and amend Resolution 19-0170, unanimously passed on July 24th, 2019. Whereas the Dixon City Revitalization Project entails acquisition of a parcel of land located at the rear 347 Main Street, Dixon City, and construction of a new 300,000 square foot warehouse facility located in Dixon City, Pennsylvania. And whereas the County of Lackawanna is an eligible applicant for Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program, RACP funds, as a source to finance the project. And whereas Stone Run Realty and Holdings, LLC, has proposed that the county assist Stone Run Realty and Holdings, LLC, in obtaining funding from the Commonwealth's Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program for the project. And whereas the county desires to assist Stone Run Realty and Holdings, LLC, in obtaining funding from the Commonwealth's Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program for the project. Whereas Lackawanna County hereby authorizes the chairman of the Lackawanna County Board of Commissioners to sign and authorize all documents and accept any awards related to these Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program RACP funds. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners is hereby authorized to accept an award in the amount of $1 million from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for a Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program grant on behalf of Stone Run Realty and Holdings, LLC, for the project. And here to speak on this resolution, once again, is Grant Manager Sandy Abshinsky.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is merely it's protocol along with the Office of the Budget and in any RACP grant. The name of the company that is the on behalf of was incorrect, so that had to be amended and changed.
Does the board have any questions?
Yes.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
It was initially Dixon City Revitalization Group. And
The title of the project is Dixon City Revitalization on behalf of Stone Run Realty and Holdings.
Okay, but this
They had undergone a name change.
Okay, because this is the third one we're voting on the same contract. It's the third
This
time.
is it.
That's what Tracy gave me. Is that correct? Yeah, third time it was changed. I'm not sure why. Did something?
It's been a name change,
They changed the
Commissioner.
name of their company 3 times.
The last time it was a mistake that was made. It was entered in as Stone Run Trucking when the actual name is Stone Run Realty and Holdings.
Okay.
So that had to be corrected.
Okay, and then the first time was Dixon City Revitalization Group LLC.
Correct. And they changed their names to Stone Run Realty and Holdings. However, in the last resolution, that was entered incorrectly as Stone Run Trucking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
I'd like to make a motion authorizing and amending an RCAP grant application. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner Cummings?
No.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 19-0195.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is appointments to the Lackawanna County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby appoint the following individuals to the Lackawanna County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Mary Ann Savakinis from Carbondale, Pennsylvania, term to begin immediately and expire on December 31st, 2021. Daniel Santinello from Roaring Brook Township, term to begin immediately and expire on December 31st, 2022.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion for the appointment for the Convention Center and Visitors Bureau. Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 19-0196.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is an appointment to the Lackawanna Heritage Valley Authority. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby appoint the following individual to the Lackawanna Heritage Valley Authority. Ella Rayburn from Scranton, term to commence immediately and expire on December 31st, 2023.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion for the appointment to Lackawanna Heritage Valley Authority. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Yes. Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thank you, Fran. Okay. Opportunity for the public to address the board.
Joan Hodawan, Scranton, Pennsylvania. I just want to start off by saying the last couple months in the city of Scranton have been such a downer with all the bad news that we've had in City Hall and the school district. And it's so nice to come here and you start the meetings with these proclamations. Obviously, I love libraries, but we
This
tend
is
to
about the library. Stop it.
we tend to forget the good done by both for-profits and non-profits, and they don't get anywhere near the publicity that they should.
Yes.
I remember during the primary, the League of Women Voters had the debate, and I remember a candidate whom I will not name making the following statement in words to this effect: when I become commissioner, I'm going to run the meetings in a business-like manner, and we're going to get rid of all this time wasted on presentations. Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay.
I was very upset by
I
that
hope
statement.
he strangles on those words, because we've got to have this, or you would think that there's nothing but bad news going on in Lackawanna County and the city of Scranton.
That's right.
And these people do deserve recognition. And we would have more people doing the same things that they're doing, if we start treating people that way. So Lorene, I know you were the impetus behind this, and I thank you for having done it, and I hope this is your legacy for the next 145 years.
Thank you, Joan. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
But no, it's extremely important. Okay, having said that, in this morning's paper, and sometime earlier, I did see a request for proposal for the interior demolition and restoration of the first floor of Bank Towers building. I assume this pertains to the lawsuit that popped up last April from 321 Development Company because they decided to sue. They didn't think you gave enough notice when the Scranton-Lackawanna Human Development Agency moved out of Bank Towers. And then I was looking at the lease that they appended to their lawsuit, and paragraph 2 says you have to demolish and restore the first floor back to its original state. So I assume that's why this RFP has been issued, to accommodate paragraph 2 of the lease that you had when you were in there?
It might be. I don't know. Where's Donnie?
No, I'm not either.
Okay,
All I know is we gave them ample
Yeah.
notice that they were going to absolutely be, we're moving out and they were coming here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is just, what's that? We'll check into it.
Yeah, because the lease, paragraph 2 says, at the expiration of the term, the demised premises will be restored at the option of the landlord in the same condition in which they were at the commencement of the term, and the cost will be treated as additional rent due and owing under the terms of the lease. Now, in their lawsuit, they estimate that the cost would be something like $89,000. I see in the paper that proposals are due on Friday, August 23rd. Is there going to be a public opening of those bids? And if so, when and where?
Gary's office. Gary DeBilio.
Do we have a?
They don't even have a,
Joan, what is it again?
yeah, it's not the county. This isn't ours. I don't think this is ours.
Joe Wexler?
Joe's ours.
It's for Joe Wexler, interior demolition and restoration of the first floor of the Bank Towers building.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a county RFP. It's on your website also. Should we get Joe in here?
Yeah, give Joe a call up.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I would like to
Yeah.
be present when they open those bids, see who bids and what they charge. You can keep that. That's an extra one. Kind of thing. Speaking of money, do we have a running total so far of the cost of this government center? Because I assume that this RFP will be added into that.
The government center on
Yeah, remember, you know,
Wyoming Avenue?
the one you're right
You're
right
talking about
now.
us right now?
Yeah. Do we have a running total of what we've racked up so far in costs?
I'll answer that under.
Okay. And do we have a running total of what we've racked up in costs in terms for the legals, for the legal fees for the prison investigation?
Joan, I think we're at $861,265.14 right now.
Okay. All right. That seems pretty stable from the last time I saw a quote. I don't think that's changed, correct? So
Hasn't
there's
changed
nothing been recently. Yeah, but I'd be very interested in keeping a running total of the cost of the government center. And I assume that this RFP is going to be another cost added in. I know that 321 Development LC is suing because they believe they're owed back rent for the occupation on the first floor of Bank Towers. They're looking for about $300,000. So I also assume that that lawsuit is just working its way through the system, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Since I'm here, and I just want to address the commissioners and the public today that on Saturday, August 17th, we'll be having our Second Chance Festival. And I think this is an ideal time to let everyone know that you're all welcome to come to Naog Park. I'm the festival chairperson. It's our third time. And it looks like we're on our target for the past 3 years to raise over $30,000. And the monies that we raise for the Second Chance Festival is for inmates from Lackawanna County, returning citizens that don't have any money for housing. And what we do is we have a grant for those inmates that get out, an $800 grant for the pay for their first 2 months. Now, the inmates that are entitled to this have to go through reentry programs, and they also have to have good conduct while they're in the prison. So there's some conditions they have to meet before they get this. But this is a program, or this is a fundraiser that we started 3 years ago, and we've had overwhelming support from our county commissioners, our prison board, and our criminal justice advisory board. Also, an overwhelming support from our community, because all the money we get are mostly sponsorships from private or from public agencies and also law firms and things like that. And we have donations. So anyone who wants to come, it's from 11 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We have a 5K run. We have a mile walk. We have food. And we also have musicians playing after 12 o'clock. So all this is for free. And also I want to say and thank the city of Scranton, because they donate the Schimmelfilling, Pavilion, yeah, sorry. The Schimmelfilling Pavilion and the Lincoln Swim Center, which we get to use the water rides. So that's a great event and a great help from the city to donate all that to us. And like I said, our county judges show, and we have a great time. And like I said, for the past 3 years, we've raised over $30,000. And for these individuals returning to the community, they're between a rock and a hard place. These are people who have wore out, and it's on their own, I know, have wore out their welcome from the community and from their families and stuff. So we get them out of the prison, and we get them out on the right foot, that they don't have to worry about their first 2 months. So I want to thank the county commissioners for the support over the years for doing this. And I want to thank the community and the city of Scranton. So I'm talking a little longer than I should, but I think this was a good time since it's going to be this Saturday. The press is supposed to give us a newspaper article this week, and they usually do a nice job for us. So thank you all. If you can come, it's for free. And I also want to say thank you. Most of the food is donated by Sterners. Mrs. Gavin, she donates most of that. So thanks again, and if you help, hopefully we'll have a nice day. Oh, one other thing I want to say. Today I brought with me my new deputy chief, Ryan Griffiths. He was promoted early this summer by President Judge Baresi and also by the commissioners. They approved it. So thank you all, and we're at full stop.
Congratulations, Brian. Great job. This is a great event to go out to. Please make sure you come up to Naog Park 11 to 3. What time's the race start at?
11 o'clock.
Race starts at 11 o'clock. Good 5K up Naog. So please come up. I've made it in the past, so if we can make it up, please go up to it. Mr. Bowles.
Commissioners, Bob Bowles, Scranton. Bill, I want to thank you personally for the job you do for everybody with the inmates, because, you know, I've been involved a lot helping them here and there, but what you do is a step way beyond what other people do. And you're to be commended, and I'm telling you from somebody that knows Bill personally, but knows his heart and soul is not prejudiced against people that are incarcerated. It's how to help them get a better life and move forward. And you're to be commended. You really are.
Thanks,
and you got a big job to follow. Thank you. Starting off, one of the few things I'm going to drive you nuts with, because it's a Monday morning now and I had to put all my appointments to the side now. First off, I want to get to where Joyce is still the tax collector. It's still a dual role in this county, and you're looking for some serious litigation. That's number one, because he can't do both jobs impartially. He's still employed by the county doing it, but he also has his law firm that represents the county in the tax collector business. The other part was when Ron Kolodziejski was here, my understanding, and I've been told this from other people, how true it is I can't say, but he was doing a lot of private appraisers, because he is a certified appraiser, on the side for a lot of people that were coming before the board. Just so people understand what was going on in the back room and the backdoor stuff that was going on with some of the people that were here. And as you know, we have a major issue with Kolodziejski and Joyce, what they pulled when they put a lien on me individually on the real estate. When the commissioners warned them not to do it, they went ahead and did it. And we're before the courts, and it's going to be devastating if it rules in our favor. I can assure you that, because what they did was just uncalled for. But sometimes their egos are a little more important than what they should be doing in their job. And that's to build a community, not tear it apart. I've been here 57 years in a business. And I've had my ups and downs, but I've always stayed in my hometown, Scranton, and Lackawanna County with my businesses. The other part, I thought I would have seen some of the commissioners at the school board meeting. What they're doing, they're destroying Scranton, Pennsylvania.
What school board meeting?
They had a school board meeting the other night, last week, over at the administration center. We're on the new budget.
We don't have anything to do with
Yeah,
that,
it was in the
Bob.
paper. That's one of the things the Times printed.
Right, but we don't have anything.
Marie and Joan were also there, so, you know, they're voting to go ahead, pass tax raises on the real estate, on the people here. They're not accepting responsibility for their incompetence of allowing the school district to run rampant like they did, not watch their money, not have people like Gary paying attention or the commissioners watching every dime and dollar. They let it run rampant and they're just destroying us. And in Scranton, remember, we get hit three ways. We get the Scranton tax, the county tax, and we get the school tax. And look around, see people leaving. We could build all the apartments we want. They may want to stay in an apartment, but to put a business here, you're looking for a lot of trouble. And there's no potential there to change, especially with the school district. And we all got to get together, not just the commissioners. City council wasn't there. You know, these are the responsibilities of the people that we elect to be in office to go ahead, do something and protect the people, especially our seniors that are being destroyed. And we have to have a voice, and it's got to come from every direction. And Joan and Marie will tell you what went on with the school board last week when we were there. It's an absolute joke. So those are some of the issues that are out there. You know, I've watched what we've done here with the commissioners and watch where we're trying to go. I like to see the idea now that we've got decent sidewalks around the courthouse. You'd be commended for taking that responsibility, all three of you, to get them done. It's what adds to our growth and who we are and where we're actually spending our money. I still want pillows for the jail. Bob, right, Billy? You're aware of it, and you've heard it from inmates and people. I don't care who you are or where you are. Go to a hotel tomorrow and sleep without a pillow and see how fast you're bitching about it.
I brought it up last meeting, and it's
I know
no,
it's the
not going to
commissioners
happen.
here. We're spending millions of dollars all over the place. I may not be able to attend the prison board meeting once a month or wherever because I have my own obligations and sometimes I'm not available. I'm raising it now so that the commissioners could raise it at the next prison board meeting.
I did, last time.
And it fell on deaf ears?
Well, the warden said it's not safe. 900 prisoners with pillows and pillowcases isn't
I'll
safe.
try and attend the next meeting, Commissioner, to finally put it to rest once and for all, that we
thought I
deserve
did.
pillows in the jail for people. We got them the milk anyhow. That was a start in the right direction. And it's the same way that Bill does. You know, people, because you're behind the walls, you don't just forget who they are. They're still human beings. Some are in there for minor offenses. And the thing that infuriated me more, and I know this may not be the forum, but it was Kane came out with a slap on the wrist when people get picked up for a joint and they get 2-3 years in state prison. She got a slap on the wrist for what she did. Not only as the official she was in the county, but what she did to me and my family, and all those charges were dismissed because they were trumped up by her. So did she pay the price, in our opinion? Absolutely not. So sometimes the justice system is really, I'd say, corrupt in a long way. And last but least, I am a candidate for mayor in Scranton on the Republican ticket, and I put my name into the mix, and we'll see where it goes from there. People have said you can't take it, you had a felony. Well, back in '09, the district attorney at that time is the only one that could remove anybody from an office and failed to do so. And it stands cast now. We can't bring it again. So can I take the seat if I win? Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, Commissioner Cummings.
One thing I do want to say is that we aren't the city of Scranton, so we can't do anything about the Scranton School District or the Scranton City Council. And It's interesting because I got a couple text messages as well to run for people that were calling for me to run for Scranton mayor. I'm not in the city of Scranton. I live in Old Forge, and the commissioner's office is a county office. There is absolutely nothing, we have nothing to do with the city of Scranton other than overseeing the entire county. I mean, you can include that in with every other borough and city, but we aren't specifically here to serve just Scranton. We don't have anything to do with the government in the city of Scranton and the way it's run, and we can't do anything about the way the city of Scranton is run. So we have nothing to do with the city of Scranton. We don't make policy for the city of Scranton. And, you know, I kind of get a little frustrated when we're constantly compared to being in charge of Scranton somehow when we're not. And we can't do anything about what happens at the Scranton City Council meetings. We can't do anything about what happens at the Scranton School District. We as individuals can give our opinions, which I have on multiple occasions, but other than that, there's really nothing more we can do. So I just want to make sure that people understand that we cannot change policy in Scranton City Council or in their school district. Just want to say that because for some reason people think we can, and that's just not the case. I was out at CCAP last week, and I wanted to just let everyone know about a couple of things that have occurred. They're helping us on something that I've been working on for over 2.5 years, thank God. I'm going to get some assistance on something I've been working on. And also, in regards to the opioid issues, we had a women's meeting with the women commissioners across the state, and we had a physician there and an RN talking about how babies are currently being born addicted now. Their numbers are 2788, so roughly 3,000 in Pennsylvania. 3,000 babies have been born last year with an opioid addiction, which means a potential for about 150,000 across our country. This is so sad to hear, and this is something that we're going to have to be looking at in our programs that we're offering at the county in the future and probably today. So I'll be watching that as well for the future because, you know, one of the disheartening items that was stated in that meeting was that one of the commissioners had gone to a doctor and had a prescription handed to her for Percocet like a month ago. I don't understand. I don't understand how any physician at this point can ever just offer a prescription of Percocet prior to saying, start your Tylenol, start your extra strength Tylenol, go to Advil. That did not happen to her. I asked her, I said, did they say try it? Did they ask you if everything else had failed to help you? And she said, no. They just handed me the script of Percocet. That should not be happening. And to the public that's watching, if your physician or your dentist or your oral surgeon hands you a prescription for an opioid without offering you Tylenol and Advil, what the protocol should be is Tylenol, extra strength Tylenol, Advil. If that doesn't work, call them. You don't just get a script handed to you for these things. I mean, we're spending millions and millions of dollars across our country on this epidemic. There should not be one physician or anyone just handing a script out prior to seeing if anything else helped them first. Ever at this point. So it's very disheartening to me to see that that's still continuing. And, you know, I'm not sure exactly how to go about changing that I mean, we've tried everything we possibly can at this administration. We've sued the pharmaceutical companies, and we're continuing to educate. I guess we have to start educating at the college levels in the medical schools and changing what's being taught there because it's not being heard, I guess. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. So I'm hoping I'm going to try and see before my time is up here to try and get something added to our protocol to change that and increase our education on protocols by physicians in the healthcare community somehow in our drug and alcohol programs. was almost 100% positive we had that already, but I'll see how effective it's being. Also, I did present a resolution at CCAP to give counties the option to opt out of the medical marijuana program. As we do with alcohol, we have dry counties, and we should be able to have the option at our municipal and county levels to say no to any new drug coming into our areas. But that was not allowed by the bill that was passed at the state, and I urged them to try and get that changed. So we did get resolutions that the association believes that if state legislature moves forward to further legalize marijuana, counties must be brought to the table as part of those discussions to address the local impacts, costs, and benefits, including but not limited to issues related to commercialization, environmental and land use to impacts, behavioral health and other human service impacts, workplace and employee policies, which is a huge concern for us and other employers, ability of local governments to regulate the growing, dispensing, and use of recreational marijuana, which these things are popping up and we don't have any say, social justice impacts and impacts to the courts and correctional systems, as well as reimbursements of costs to counties. So I did make some headway at the state level, and I'm going to continue to try and make further changes as I see them, whether I'm in office or not. I will not stop on these kind of issues, regardless of where I stand in my career. I do appreciate the work that Bill is doing, and it's so. With this opioid crisis, we have so many people that are leaving prison that, I've talked about how this has hurt my family, and it has tremendously. I've seen it firsthand in my work as a nurse, in nursing homes, in geriatric care. I've seen it across the board. It doesn't matter who you are. If you were addicted to these opioids, chances are, you did not have an addicted personality. These meds are made to make you addicted to them. There's nothing more I can say about that. It's been proven time and time again. Purdue is possibly going to go bankrupt. The family will be going bankrupt soon, is what I'm reading in the articles recently. But these people are the families, they're just disowned. There's just so much you can do for these people, and they go through the rehab program and they have nothing. They have nobody and they have nothing. They're at the point where they have to start from right at the bottom. And you providing them help is something that I do appreciate the work that you're doing, because it's difficult. It's very difficult to see this happening. And even with some of the programs that we worked on when I first became in office with Judge Barres, doing a great job. And, we actually have people that have come out of these programs, and they're just wonderful, and they go on to have a great life and should be commended. And I'm just so proud of those. Like when I spoke at the drug court graduation, I said, they are our new heroes, because they're going to come on and talk to people that are going through this and teach them how to get through it, and they're going to learn from them and how to stay on track. So it's something that we should be looking at and encouraging them for that goal. So thank you, Bill, for your work on that. I do appreciate it more than you know. And now for something that nobody's going to like that I'm going to talk about, but I have to, because it's just become, with the libraries that are here. There was an issue that came up, and it's not going to be pretty when I talk about this, so I'm going to have to apologize to the public ahead of time. There has been some readings going on across the country with drag queen readings, and I was wondering if Mary Garman could speak on this issue, because I would hope that we're not going to be, the library system has allowed it, and the head of the Library Association has allowed it, and I would hope that that's not coming to our area anytime soon.
It's not something that we have seen in Lackawanna County. I have seen, they're called Drag Queen Story Times, and they have been held in public libraries around the country. I know that some have happened within Pennsylvania. It's not anything that we have seen here yet, or even been requested to offer here in Lackawanna County.
If it is, I would appreciate it being brought to our attention prior to. That's all. Thank you very much, and it's just something that I would oppose adamantly. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's about all I have. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Terriani?
Thank you, everyone.
Scranton School District, City of Scranton, Lackawanna County Government. We, as county government, we do help them in all different manners. But are we over anything that they do? No. We control none of their policies, anything like that. Do they come to us for helping hands? Lots of times. Lots of times. The land bank, first and foremost. One of our biggest contracts with the land bank is the city of Scranton. 100 and some properties thus far that we put back on the tax roll, which will directly affect the citizens of the city of Scranton. But we have nothing to do with the roads, the potholes, anything that has to do with the city or the school district. School district
The
too.
corruption.
We don't, none of
We're
that.
not involved in the
none of
corruption
it.
either.
Nothing has anything to do with us. But we do. We are here to help them at all times. I mean, they're our largest municipality of the 40, and we're here and we care what goes on. And that also goes with the school district. We've done work with the school district, and they've worked with us, by vice versa, and we've helped them out, I think, with some mini grants and different things for things that go beyond the school district's capacity, but actually affects the school district. So we've always been there for them. And in all actuality, we weren't invited to the meeting. I was actually out of town. I think most of us, that's why the meeting is on Monday. But we are there no matter what to try to help in all different capacities, but we do not control what they do in the daily lives of the county or the school district or the city of Scranton. The Globe Store, there's going to be some more reimbursements coming in from different departments that we're still waiting on. I think Emergency Services, SLHDA, I think, Children and Youth, and some others. So there's no exact number. It's not going to go near the $20 million that was put out in the paper. That's not happening. It's a great project. All of us knows where it comes from and the great background on it from the start to finish. In the building right now that we're sitting, look at the size of the building, the conference room. We could do just about anything in this building, and it's consolidated from 13 locations in downtown Scranton down to 5. So, what else? Joan, absolutely talking about always, as long as I've been here, always tried to make sure that the people that are doing the great things in Lackawanna County. Now, my family, we do a lot of stuff in Lackawanna County. I never, ever, ever bring any of that up in my capacity as chairman of the Board of Commissioners or as a commissioner. But everybody else, absolutely. They deserve a pat on the back. Anybody that's out there that we feel like, all of them, like we couldn't get to every single person, but all those people that are doing all the great things in Lackawanna County, they deserve a pat on the back. They deserve a congratulations. And the small businesses that are growing themselves, the Commissioner Cummings came up with back in 2016, that's a big thing. It's a big feather in the hat. Cedar Bike Shop's been around for years, and now they renamed it, reorganized it, you know what I mean? And it's a contributor to the community, and they're partners with us on different things. So it's all great things, and it should be announced and acknowledged in the beginning. Just like with our pledge and bringing in a veteran in to do our pledge, we did that in this last administration to make sure that our veterans and people realize every single day that the only reason why they have the freedoms that they have is because of all those people that are sacrificed their lives that are at the cemeteries and all those that are fighting on behalf overseas or in our country right now that are in the armed forces. It's about them. We always make sure that. And we always acknowledge our law enforcement, our first responders. You know what I mean? They have really become, since September 11th, 2001, our first line of defense against terrorism and everything else. These mass shootings and stuff. Look at the firefighter who held the guy at bay with his gun because he had a permit, kept him from going further and maybe to start shooting people after the Walmart incident where there was no shootings, but he got him outside walking out with an AK-47. You mean, we have great first responders across our country, and they deserve a pat on the back, just like our servicemen and servicewomen. I thought this was great, and I know a lot of people might not get it, but I really do, and I know Ricky will, and a lot of people in the room will. But this right here, this front page right here, if you can zoom in on that, this is a big thing for Lackawanna County. Vic Fangio, who was a resident of Lackawanna County and a Dunmorian, who was actually a football player for the great Coach Hinzes, who just retired, won his first game, his first professional football game at the Hall of Fame game. That's when they bring in all of the great Hall of Fame football players. He won that as the coach of the Denver Broncos. And not only just him from Dunmore, but Mike Munchak, Central graduate, college star, Pro Football Hall of Fame lineman. And there's only so many linemen in the Hall of Fame. 2001 class. He's the offensive line coach. That is such a great thing to be able to celebrate, that we have two of our best in Denver, Colorado. And, you know what I mean? They're great coaches. Gary DeBilly. Gary, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's just fantastic.
Isn't that amazing?
Fantastic, yeah.
I mean, Vic Fangio's been around for years. His first time being a head coach, I think he's been in the pros for 30 years, and he's finally at the helm. And he had his first game preseason, but the Hall of Fame game, it was a victory. Alongside of him, one of our best and a Hall of Famer, Mike Munchak. It doesn't get any better than that. But I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's incredible, and they both came from Lackawanna County, and they just gave so much back. And Mike Munchak comes back here every year, has a golf tournament, has family and relatives that live here, and never forgot the area. And Vic has family members up in Dunmore, right, Ricky? Yeah. So it's a really, like I said, one of the best high school coaches to ever live was the person who he was coached by. And I just think that's great. But we're going to be having ADA Day. That's going to be at McDade Park, and that's August 16th, sponsored by Lackawanna County and the Center for Independent Living. And that's a great day for everyone to please come out for ADA Day. People got to remember that without Americans with Disabilities Act, that we wouldn't have those curb cuts that we have today. Back in the 70s, if you were in a wheelchair, you didn't get around. We wouldn't have the buses with the that actually settle down and extend to be able to bring in people in wheelchairs. We wouldn't have handicap accessible bathrooms or hallways or walkways. This is a day where people are remembering all of the great things that have happened to make sure that all of our citizens are on the same playing field, level for all of us. So it's a great day. September 7th, Lackawanna County Commissioners are having their cross-country race at McDade Park starting at 9 a.m. I think it's 5 races, 2 freshmen, 2 varsity, and a varsity B race. Great race, a lot of fun. Come enjoy it. It's at McDade Park. Some great runners will be there, especially from Lackawanna County. And I think the last 2 years, I think we've actually had the overall winners. And some of these kids are coming as far as New York City to come in for this invitational. September 13th, Lackawanna County Commissioners are going to be having a blood drive at the Lackawanna County Government Center at the Globe, and that's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you'd like to, please come on out. Walk-ins, walk-ins or are welcome, and blood is life, and life is blood. September 20th. Now, this is a big one, and I would like for Fran. Fran could probably just rattle this right off. September 20th, we're having our senior health fair. Could you talk a little bit about all the great things that are going to be going on that day?
Absolutely. Great information for all of our seniors out there. We actually provide some muffins and some things for our little breakfast, some coffee we have, and some donuts and things like that. But it's a day where the seniors can come out and see all of the information and programs that are available to them. Can get your flu shot as well while you're there. Yep, absolutely.
It's a great day.
And lots of giveaways, which I know that our seniors...
A lot of great giveaways. And that's September 20th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. PNC Field gives you an opportunity to look at the home of the Rail Riders, beautiful stadium, real family friendly. And then last but not least, September 21st, 11 a.m., Fishing Derby at Merle-Cernowski Park. And if anybody would like to call for information, it's 963-6764. That's Parks and Recreation. And I'd just like to wish everyone a happy and safe rest of their summer. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. No, I'm gonna talk to Dave Hahn and see if we can start those classes where we bring them into